Hi there. Let's continue our study of Turn the World Around by Harry Belafonte. We're going to look here in this video at the chord progression. Because of such the difficult pattern and the strum patterns that I'm throwing at you here, we're going to keep it in the people's key of C. So we're going to start on your C chord, over to F, G7, and circle it back to C. It's the same circle for the whole song. So even though the melody is going to change from section to section, there are a couple different melody variations we're going to see throughout the song, the chords always stay the same, right? And they're always going to follow the same rhythm. We're going to split that 5-beat bar across 2 chords at a time. I'm going to play C for 3 beats, F for 2, G7 for 3, back to C for 2, and start again. So remember, we've got that tricky part with the C. We're starting and ending there. So we're going to have 2 beats on C and then another 3 beats on C, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. On your own, one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. So notice how I was counting out loud, and then I started to kind of whisper it, and then I tried not to say anything at all, right? And I would encourage you to do the same as we were internalizing that pattern in our bodies. By feeling it in our bodies without our instruments, you can internalize that counting as well, so that you can hear those numbers in your head and connect it with what you're feeling, right? Because of course you can't count and sing at the same time. And did I mention there's singing in this song? Woo! Imagine that. And speaking of which, that can also be really helpful to bring in at this stage before we've brought the full strum pattern in, lining up those chord changes with the lyrics. There are definitely patterns to watch out for. The main verses are going to sound like this. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. So we noticed before that in this case, the fire lyric is always coming on the beats 4 and 5 when we're typically doing our down strums. Here we'll notice where they come on the G7 chord, the F chord, then back to the C chord, right? Sometimes you have to do it to notice where it is. So it's always coming on the F chord or the C chord. And then you're also lining up the we come, living, and go back. That changes, but the rhythm is the same. Ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba, ba-dum, ba-dum. That's another way to go through it as well. So getting comfortable with all those layers, both the lyrics, the melody, and just the rhythm of the lyrics is really helpful. Going around and around and around and around. Let's try it a little bit more together with those variations. Let's just try the rhythm, and then we'll add the lyrics, and then we'll add the melody, like this. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba-dum, ba, ba-da, ba-da. Your turn. The words, we come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. Your turn. We come from those verses are great. We're substituting fire with water and mountain. Those are the three main verses. The other sections are going to be a little different, melody-wise and rhythm-wise, but the strum pattern and that count and this progression with this particular count stays the same. So you'll notice there's a little harmony part to each of the fire, water, mountain verses that goes like this. 2, 3, ready, and we come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Right? So noticing the difference there. I really listen for the melody more than the lyrics because the melody is changing on those chords. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. That second part is borrowing from the original verse that we sang. So listen out for that. The other parts are the interlude. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. And again, we've got those notes changing on the chords, and the so is life, right? The beginning phrase, the end of the phrase on the chord changes. Open up your ears and see what makes the most sense for you to follow along with those chord changes, and just doing it with the single strum. So important. The last section is the chorus. It'll sound a little bit like this. Again, chords are the same. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? So many different sections. This stays the same. So again, as you're playing along with the original recording, I believe Harry Belafonte recorded it in the key of G, so it's going to sound terrible when you change the chords together. But what you can do is don't worry about the strum, just change on the beats, right? So you're moving chords, no conflicting chords, and just get used to, again, noticing how the melody, how the lyric lines up with that chord progression. And you can do that for as long as you need to, right? I'll leave you here with that, and then we'll finally come back together and put the strumming and the chord together and play it all the way through. All right? Enjoy your practice.